Well, if you were the white guy overseas, I was like the unicorn. I mean, I got looks like.
Really?
Well, especially when I did that GRS job, like I remember we'd pull up at stoplights or stop signs or whatever, and it'd take a minute for the people next to us to register, like look over.
Where were you? Can I ask where you were?
In Iraq.
Okay.
And they'd look over, in the car, and they'd see me, and they'd be like, "The heck?
I'd never seen that white guy.
Something was
what
up.
Viking
right?
ship just landed on the coast."
You do kind of look like a Viking. That's cool.
I was like a unicorn.
Now, is that the Vanilla Gorilla?
Yeah, it is. That, I mean, yeah, that's where the nickname came from the teams. I mean, I had a whole bunch of others, but that was one of them. That I had this. So I had Vanilla Gorilla Security LLC since I've had it since I was doing that CAA job, because that's how they paid me, was through that LLC. And then when I decided to make it a training company, I just kind of, just used the same LLC and came up with a logo and all that kind of stuff.
Did they call you Vanilla Gorilla in the SEALs?
Yeah, in the teams. One of my platoon chiefs did. And then there was other ones like Snow Chimp, Powder. Most people don't know unless they've, that's kind of like, well, that's our era, like that. One movie about the albino that has like supernatural powers. And
so it's just you're very blonde.
Is that you?
You're very blonde and very white. Is that why? Is that the?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, at Buds, it was not good for me.
Oh really?
What do you mean? Because you stood out?
Oh yeah. So like every dude tells you, like, when he's prepping you, like if you're asking questions like about Buds and how do you succeed, and they're like, just be a gray man, just kind of
blend in,
disappear. But for me, no. Like the whole class. I mean, I posted a video of one of our PTs on the grinder, on our Buds PTs, and like you can look out over that whole class where we have the little UDT shorts, little tight UDT shorts on with no shirts on, and everyone's got a shaved head, so everyone kind of looks similar with a shaved head. And you look out over the whole class, and yep, there's Ben. I mean, I was watching it years ago. I was watching it with my kids, showing it to them, and they're like, "Oh, there's Dad, because they're just like a beacon.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, at the day one of Buds, I had like multiple instructors coming up to me and like, they're beating you and and when I say beating, I don't mean like physically beating. It's just a military term for like doing exercises until you get smoked. But they're beating me,
which can be worse.
Yeah, they're beating me on the grinder, and like, they're coming up to me and they're like, what's wrong with your skin? Like, are you albino? And and I'm doing like flutter kicks, and I'm like, no, I'm not albino. Like, I got blue eyes. Like, but they're like, it looks like you got weak genes.
Oh shoot.
We don't like guys with weak genes.
Really?
It's all about like, what are
So you had to prove them wrong.
Getting alphas with good genes through the program, and it's like, so my problem was that I could play it two ways. I could either slack and get friggin' hammered, because they can like smell weakness to where if you start to, perform, subpar, they will hound you. And then what happens with guys that start performing subpar, if a Buds instructor doesn't like you, you will not make it through Buds. Because you might pass like the evolutions, but they'll smoke you like
miserable
beforehand, like before a 4 mile time run, to where you can't pass the run. So if they don't like you, you will get smoked. I mean, you buy them and you will not make it through. But if they like you, then you start to build that deranged father figure type thing.
Deranged father.
Yeah. And so I just put out. So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna get noticed. Like if my back's like, they'll look out over the whole class and my back's just slightly sagging after like 400 push-ups, and they're like, well, get your back straight. Like that's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna put out as hard as I can, every single evolution as hard as I can, and see where the chips fall. And then I started doing that, and then they started to, hey, this guy puts out, and then it worked in my favor to stand out, because then they know that you're a guy that puts out, and they like you, and then they want you to, they don't maybe give you extracurricular activities as much.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you want to see the full podcast, be sure to click on the link in the description. And if you feel like it, hit subscribe.